Hello and welcome to Arsenal Above All. I've got a solid panel. I've done the squad rotation. After seeing what Mikel did at the weekend, I thought I'll flex as well. I've got Brian, James, and Neil with me. The most dangerous Arsenal fan alive. He made it back from the Emirates Stadium. I think he was tailed, but he's lost his tail and he's here to discuss, give us all the intel of his visit to the Emirates Stadium. And it was a quality 3-0 win. Perfect afternoon. The only problem was Martin Odegaard getting another injury again. But we'll talk about that and lots more. But of course, let's hit the intro. It's not the new one yet, Neil. It's coming. Don't worry. But let's hit the old one anyway. Hello, good evening, and welcome to episode 106 of Arsenal Above All. Hope you all well. I've got Brian Haley making his first appearance of the season. How you doing, Brian?
Yeah, I'm good, Mikey. I'm good. Yep. Can't wait.
He's got his plate. He's got his knife and fork ready. Yeah, he's just waiting for the nice jerk to come off the buffet line and everything to get tuck into this perfect Arsenal afternoon again, as we said, apart from the injury. Thanks for coming along, Brian, as always. We've also got James Johnstone from James Johnston's Football. How you doing, James?
Yeah, no, pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the invite, Michael. It's nice to be here with you. Great time.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming on, as always. And I've also got, of course, the aforementioned, the most dangerous Arsenal fan alive, the Arsenal Jason Bourne, Neil Shah. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me on. And James and Brian, great to be on the panel with you guys. Thanks very much.
Great stuff. Great to have you guys on, as always. So, obviously, Arsenal winning 3-0 at the weekend. A rebound win, that's what they call it now, after the Liverpool defeat, disappointing Liverpool defeat before the international break. It was very much a statement win, I thought, just the way that we went about it. It's not often that we struggle. Not only struggle with the early kickoffs, but after the international break, and I thought it was quite wary. Obviously, a certain familiar face was back in the opposition dugout, and there was a bit of worries that something may go wrong, or they may be inspired to do something, but it didn't turn out that way. Neil, you were there. We'll start with you. What was it like in there? And seeing the lineup, obviously we all spoke about it pre-game about Eze having to start. He must start. You know, he was on the program. He was on the front of the program. Obviously, he was on front of all the stuff when the lineup came out. What was your thoughts just on that first half performance and just how Eze sort of added a little bit of magic, you know, on that left-hand side compared to what we've seen before with Martinelli and Trossard?
Yeah, the atmosphere was good. It was upbeat. It was. I think a lot of people were quite excited about what the lineup was going to be beforehand. We got there before the lineup was announced, and I think everyone was pretty much on the same page that they wanted to see a change on the left-hand side. We got that. I think James had put pretty much that same lineup, apart from Marino. I think was the one that was different, wasn't it, James, on your one? And I think we kind of all, and we all kind of thought, that should be the one that he goes for. So thankfully, when we saw that, we thought, yes, that's great. Wasn't quite sure why Marino was in there, but then obviously I think someone then said, well, because Rice has played, you know, the full 90 or whatever it was for the international, so maybe he maybe just picked up a slight knock, or he's just been rested for a little while. So generally, I was pleased with the lineup. I wasn't too worried. I do prefer Marino at the front, to be fair, rather than in the middle, but that's a different discussion. But apart from that, I was well pleased. And then the first half, I did think initially there was still a little bit of this timidness. I thought we were playing well. And my three standout players, I mean, there's five really, but the three standout players for me were Madueke, Mosquito, and Scooby Doo. They were my three standout players. But I felt that initially in the beginning, in the first half, we still were being a little bit shy for the final product. I just thought, oh no, is it going to be one of those again? But the signs were good, and that's the main thing. And I think what the wingers brought was something very fresh, something that we haven't seen for a very long time. Saka. We can't deny that on the right hand side. But Madueke is different to Saka. He's very aggressive. He's very direct. He's strong. He's quick, and he's got that thing about him where I feel he really wants to do well at the club. And he's almost it's almost a bit of a point to prove after the way he was treated at Chelsea as well, I'd say. So he was fascinating to watch. We were getting off our seats for Madueke. That's how much of an impact he made. But Eze, whilst he's similar but different to Madueke, I think he's a little bit more deliberate, a little bit more thoughtful, but the way he goes past players with ease is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I think that's going to be the telltale signs of a difference. I find that Martinelli has dropped off so much. He finds it difficult now. He's very predictable. He's down the line, and then he just comes stuck. And you just feel that you know what's going to happen before it happens, and it does. Sadly, 90% of the time, I'd say. But Eze's very different. I think he's going to link up very well with Gyokeres, and I think he's going to really penetrate down that line and give defenders a lot of problems. But the way he shows the skills to just fly past people with consummate ease is a joy to watch. So I felt that the first half, I mean, obviously, you know, that we did finish off with the goal at the end, but I just felt that we were in control, and it took a little bit of time to really make the impact, but the signs were all good across the whole pitch.
No, yeah, totally agree. It was a little bit cagey at the start, Brian, just in terms of, you know, how we were all looking to see how Forest would come out. Would they have the high line? And it seemed like they were getting the high line more and more as the game wore on, as we saw in the second goal with Gyokeres' goal. But obviously in the first half, it was very much, you know, sitting back, having a lot of possession. And this is a situation that we found ourselves in quite a lot last year. You know, with the key issue being us being unable to break the low block. But when, like as Neil said, we had two options. You know, we had you know, two different type of options this time. What does that say to, you know, the squad going forward in terms of, you know, the likes of Saka, who, you know, Madueke was beating people for fun. We've never really seen Saka do stuff like that. It's more of his ball delivery rather than actually beating the man. But what was your thoughts on just on that first half performance, and just how much belief that kind of gives to the squad in terms of knowing that they've got players that can come in and perform at that sort of level? And you know, does that sort of, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? kind of emphasise the actual quality that we've got now. It's not so much on paper now. They've actually produced it against a good side.
Yeah, I think it's what you said, Mike. It's regarding the belief. It's definitely regarding to the belief. I think when you look at Eze and Noni there was like a freedom. It didn't look like it was basically Arteta trying to say to them they need to be playing a particular. They just went out and played. And I think when Noni did an interview at the end of the game, he just said, "Look, I'm a winger at the end of the day, and my job as a winger is effectively go out and beat people, get to the byline, and create." It's not, and I don't know if it's something which Saka's not, when he comes back into the team, will we see a Saka having that directness, or do we see a Saka going to be playing a bit more inside? And in that rotation, probably with Madueke, it's a conundrum that is now, and it's a great conundrum to have, but it's definitely a conundrum which Arteta's going to have to look at, because arguably people will turn around and say, well, Saka will come straight in after he's come back from injury. I'm not so sure if we're going to get performances of consistency from Noni. It may be difficult. it may be difficult for Bukayo to get back in, which may not be a bad thing. But we've also got to take into consideration their contracts moving on as well. But that's something obviously we'll probably discuss at a later time. But performance-wise, I think at the end of the day, I think there was, to be honest with you, there was an expectancy, and I think there was an expectancy because it was Forest, the change of manager. It was a game in that sense where, they had one training session.
Yeah,
with
so, because of the national break.
So, it was a kind of a game where we had that opportunity in Eze to kind of, do the things we know he can generally do. Look, I was pleased for Gyokeres yet again. I think he was getting a lot of stick again with regarding just on the basis, it's the opposition. It's just no. I think if you have a look at his work rate and what he was doing off the ball when he had it turned, he made things happen as well. And and his arrival for the into a 6-yard box is what that's what we've been crying for.
Yeah.
So. I think as an overall performance, look, it's I'm very happy, and I think Neil, you were there at the end of the day, and I think 60,000 other people were quite happy with that performance, and seeing the performances of the new and the new players in there, who have started.
Because that was the key thing, wasn't it? Yeah, go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, can I just say you're right, exactly that. It's very refreshing to see a new selection of players that we can choose from, and I think that is the key to success, especially if we're really planning to go far in the big 2 trophies. That we need that depth and that rotational ability. But what's different to the past few seasons, or quite a few really now, that we can actually choose without that drop off, which is so important. I think there's so many players now. We've always wanted 2 players in for every position. I think we're very close to that, and the drop off has really become smaller in a lot of those positions, and I think that's important. The only thing one thing I will say, do you remember a couple of seasons ago, even last season, maybe at the beginning, the atmosphere was crazy at times, absolutely banging crazy. Doesn't have that as much anymore, which is the only disappointing thing. However, they did start playing the drums, I think, midway through the first half or something like that, and that started helping with the atmosphere. But I'm not quite sure why they're not doing it consistently like they used to, which is a shame. So come on, guys. Come on, Ashburton Army. Get the drums going from start to finish. It really helps.
Yeah, it seems like they still got the numbers reduced from what they had in that, was it 22-23 season. So it seems like the numbers are still kind of low compared to what it was before. But yeah, thanks for that, Brian. And what about yourself, James? What was your thoughts? Just overview on the performance, and just the fact that the squad depth is just so visible now, and everyone can kind of see it. It just wasn't the actual result, was it? It was the actual showcasing of this amazing squad depth that we've got. That people actually came on and the level didn't drop. When Yeri came on, played a really mature game, I thought, and knew when to let it go, when to run with it, when to run, the third man option, so he opened space for other people. He was actually playing for the team. It's getting like, I think Brian mentioned with Saka. I mean, it's getting to a point where there's 2 games now, home games now, where Odegaard's gone off, and the team's performance kind of just continued and kind of improved without him. What was your thoughts on that, and also just the actual performance and what it means for us going forward, really?
Yeah. So if I can be slightly greedy for a sec here, I can answer it. I can break it down in sort of 2 different ways, which both to me show a positive. The first one I will use is if I was to say to you last season, we're going to have no Saka, we're going to have no Havertz, and then Odegaard's going off. All 3 of us here, 4 of us, sorry, me included, we're panicking, aren't we? No Saliba as well, sorry, forgot to add it. We're all going, oh, bloody hell, what are we going to do today? And at the weekend, regardless of what they've said about Nottingham Forest, he only had a day to bed him in and whatever, they're a good side, and they've been further strengthened with what they've done in the transfer market. Might not have been players that Nuno wanted, but they're a good player. When you've got Douglas Luiz sitting on your bench, he was a player that a couple of seasons ago, if you told me Arsenal were going to buy him, I'd have been over the moon. I wanted him. I was chanting that we're going to sign you in the morning that day after he scored that corner against us in I think it was a Carabao game. I remember he was linked, weren't they? They were like saying he could be an Arsenal player. So I was behind that bench, the Villa bench, with Gerrard and the guy who's got hair longer than me, and I was singing we're going to sign you in the morning. That's what I was chanting it, trying to see if they'd turn around and say, to shut up or whatever. But yeah, it was quite funny. But no, I think it was amazing. 5 new starters, and you didn't notice a drop off with all 5 of them starting. And then what I also like as well, Mike, and I've brought this up, so if there are people that are in here that have watched me on all the podcasts that I do, because I do get around, but I'll repeat myself again if they haven't. I've seen positive signs in Arteta. The first game of the season against Man United, he used all 5 of his subs. Liverpool, he only used 4, but in this game and Leeds as well, he used all 5. So the biggest thing we've always said is when he has the small group, it's that he doesn't trust every single one of them fully.
Yeah.
So there were games that were screaming out for us to change, but you knew he wouldn't because he doesn't trust what he's got on the bench. Now, I don't know if that's because the man on top has said, I'm getting you all these and you use them, or it's actually him and top as well. Whatever it is, regardless of what reason it is, I couldn't care because he's doing it and we're benefiting from it. And I think that shows a massive, massive change. And what I liked as well, just quickly, like you said there about Nwaneri, he could have easily have moved Eze inside and brought Martinelli on or Trossard on to be safe. But he made a point of, no, Nwaneri is my Odegaard backup, and he made such a big point of him signing that new contract that I was really glad that he did back him. And I know a lot of people said about Nwaneri on the day, giving the ball away, doing it, but he definitely ups our tempo when he does play.
Oh yeah,
and I don't mind that he takes more risks. I think Odegaard, where he's been injured and he's a bit scared potentially of more contact and getting injured again, but also just where his confidence has been completely shattered the last season and a half. Odegaard, for me, at times plays safe. I know that he can thread the ball through a needle. He probably knows he can thread the ball through a needle, but he doesn't do it anymore. For whatever reason, he just doesn't do it anymore. And I think Nwaneri still, where there's that age and there's that fearlessness, he takes more positive risks, if I can say that, if there is such thing as a positive risk. But yeah, he takes more risks and tries to up the speed and the tempo of the game. Plus, he had a few pot shots that were unlucky as well. There was the one that nearly hit the Hubble, but there was the other one where it was on the turn, weren't it? And it only narrowly went wide. It was that's what I like about him. He's not afraid to have a go. So yeah, I'll wrap up my synopsis there and let the others join in.
No, you're just spot on. It was great to just see a mature performance from him, and again, he was just doing the right things. And I think for all the criticism we've had with Arteta in the past about giving him games and everything, he just seems to know what he's doing, the way he's blooding him. I think seeing what Max Dowman's doing as well is giving them a little bit of a got him more focus as well. Seeing that there's his kid just doing a madness, who's probably gonna end up getting the Champions League record tomorrow if he comes on for even a couple of minutes. I think he will go down as the youngest player in Champions League history. So there's that as well. But yeah, a couple of shout outs as well to obviously David Raya, who got his 100th appearance, and was his 42nd clean sheet as well, which is nuts. And also Trossard as well, coming on and getting. I think he's got 50 GNA since he joined, and the only person that's got more GNA than him in the team is Saka. So that kind of gives you. I think Saka's got 71 or 70. In the time in 70 GNA in the time that since Trossard joined. So since then, Trossard got his 50th at the weekend. So even though he's kind of frustrates a lot, the guy does produce. He does.
Yeah.
He does.
But we've always said this, Mike. He's brilliant off the bench, but he doesn't he thinks he's a starter. That's the only issue. I mean, these days, unfortunately, you don't get. I hate comparing him because I can't abide the guy. And when he got Sol Campbell sent off all them years, but there ain't people like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer anymore. That's like, I'll sit on that bench, and when I come on, I'll do something. All these players now want to play, which I can't begrudge them. Of course, you want to. If I'm a Premier athlete, I want to play every week. But sometimes you got to look at it and go, no, I'll come on, I'll get an assist or a goal, and I'll take the plaudits then. But sadly, that player doesn't really exist anymore.
Just a question on that, Mike. Just a question on that, and on the back end of James, with regarding to sort of like the signing of the new contract, then, because ultimately he could have left and played somewhere. Has he seen then the picture in front of him, saying, "Look, I'm not going to play necessarily week in, week out, but I could be a part of something," and that's made him stay?
I hope so, Brian. I think, sadly, it's going to sound horrible, but I just don't think there was no market for him. That's which is weird because you'd think, like Mike said, underneath Saka, most goals and assists in our team, you'd think people be screaming out for a player like him,
and they'd be looking at those stats as well, wouldn't you?
Exactly,
you'd be looking at those stats. So, but it's quite an interesting one to kind of look at, isn't it? Really, when you think about it, because you're quite right with what you're saying with Trossard. It was like he feels like he's a guaranteed start. He should be a guaranteed starter, but then to sign a contract for a couple of years, and then as you said, it may not be a market, but he might have also seen a picture there in front of him that maybe that I could actually win the things that I should be winning anyway, elsewhere possibly.
I do think it's a lot of it as well is to do with just the salary he's on, maybe because he's on a higher one now. That's probably what's done it. If he was on the salary that he might have been on before he got the bump, then the club might have come in and said, "Okay, we'll offer you that." Whereas now it's like, well, we've got to offer you more than what Arsenal will put you on now. So I think, you're right. I think it is the market, because obviously with those numbers, again, all the stats guys and they look at all that stuff and they'll see that if he's behind Saka, considering the minutes that he has and the amount of games he starts, then it's pretty special in terms of that. But no, fantastic day's work really. Gyokeres getting a goal. People saying nonsense that he's playing like he's wearing jeans and other nonsense like that. People just having a go at him because he plays for Arsenal. Obviously, just happy that he got on the score sheet again. As you said, Brian, I thought he was a lot more involved. He played a lovely ball around the corner in the first half. I think he played it to Eze, and he broke through, and then he kind of linked with Eze on the wing in the second half, didn't he? Where he got that shot from Madueke's pass, where he literally almost obliterated the goal. I was having flashbacks to days played at Hackney Marshes. When the goalposts and everything all go crumbling down and the net falls in. And everything. I was thinking, just like, bloody hell, what are you doing? But yeah, so I'm glad that he's scoring. He's doing his job. That's all you can want from him. Jake Hill, thanks for the comment. He smashed him at home last term. Also, I was talking about Forest. The acid test is City next weekend. That would tell us a lot because they're going to want revenge from last season's humiliation. Yeah, that's right. And Steve, right, Steve, Trossard will get enough game. I think he means game time. Yeah, I think as it stands, we've got a squad strong enough to compete across all competitions. And I know Neil's been screaming out for a quad, so he might actually get his wish the way things are at the moment. And so Stephen also say Gyokeres will get stronger as the season goes on. Yes, I think so. He looked a lot quicker. And I think the 2 games he played for Sweden would have helped with his fitness, getting his fitness along. So where you look at Isak not getting that many minutes because obviously Liverpool are worried about him, maybe get back to fitness. Maybe they could have done with him playing a few more minutes in those games. I think Gyokeres playing would have done us a favour as well. Just him getting his feet on the ground and making runs and getting his fitness up, and he did look a lot more lively, a lot more quicker on the ground. I think you was there, obviously, Neil. I don't know if you had a good close up look at him, but yeah, he's going to score goals. Amount of times over the last couple of years we've seen people play balls across the box like that, and there's nobody there. Havertz is on the edge of the box or on the right hand side, and no one's there in that position. So
I mean, the goal. Sorry, Michael, but the goal he scored fits what we want. That's exactly what we've been crying out for. That's a proper centre forward striker's goal. And what makes me annoyed is what you said earlier about people saying he playing with jeans. 3 out of the 4 goals he scored have been out in open play. Yeah. It's not like he's got 3 penalties or anything like that. And then the fact that he's only going to get stronger. James said it on the Purely pod. He goes, I think he's going to get 20, 25 goals, and I believe him. I completely am with that. I think he will. And 2 of them are coming on Saturday.
Yep, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, Neil, and hopefully you get a couple more tomorrow night as well. That'd be lovely. A lot of people have been talking about Zubimendi as well, just about his, him not being strong enough and not offering the same kind of security that Thomas Partey, would give us, in the midfield, James. I just think he's brought a different dimension to the team. Obviously, the goals were a bonus, right? But there were times. But the thing with him, he doesn't just sit there. He was driving forward. He was popping up on the right hand side, where Odegaard sort of fits. I just think a lot of people are sleeping on this guy. And again, it's the whole, okay, he plays for Arsenal, so he can't be that good. Let's trash him a little bit. And that's coming from some of our own fans as well. Unfortunately, I'm in WhatsApp chat groups and they're slating Gyokeres and saying that they're not impressed with him, and it's like, what are you talking about? And it's crazy. But what's your thoughts on it? And just Zubimendi, and he just seems like he's another one. I think as he plays, he's just going to get more and more. Just going to get more and more part of the furniture, more smoother, more. Just more, just become more of a provider to the team, and just provide what you want, depending on what position he is on the pitch. What's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, no, I mean, I went on podcasts last year, and they were calling me every name under the sun, saying that my head needed to be checked and everything else. Because I said about not giving. This was before everything that happened. We won't go into that, but I said I wouldn't renew Thomas Partey because we knew that Zubimendi was coming in, and I said to him, give it 5 games of the next season, and you won't even remember who Thomas Partey is. We're 4 games into the season, so I think I'm 1 before I said. But yeah, he's a remarkable footballer. Yeah, he's not the tallest, but he will eventually grow into the league, and that at the weekend. And I know that they're all trying to find deflections galore. I think it hits the keeper. I know they've said that it hits Murillo, but I've watched it back so many times and I still can't. To me, it looked like it hit the keeper in the chest or the shoulder just before it went in. But regardless of that, the technique in itself shows you how good of a footballer this guy is. To have the audacity to try and pop that from there on that, with that level, at that speed and angle, shows how good of a footballer he is. But also, his header was really good as well.
Yeah.
I think people aren't talking. First of all, he's the smallest player on the pitch, so God knows how he's got no right to win that header in the first place. But it's a really well taken header, and like Anthony put in our group chat, didn't he? That game there is accounted for 17% of his goals in his whole career. And I hope he scores more, because I thought we were buying somebody that's going to mop up and help dictate play and play passes over the top into our players, or through the lines. But he scores goals, he scores bangers as well. So I'll have some of that. It's a 2 for 1, isn't it? So you can't moan at that. He's giving you more than what you've paid for. So yeah. I think he's a fantastic player. And just quickly, what you said there about Gyokeres, Mike. There's other strikers that have been signed in this league that couldn't find their arse with 2 hands of the map, and yet this is the one that's getting the most, critique from people. I think you should take a look at the players that you've signed for your own clubs first before you start coming out and criticising Arsenal's ones. That's all I'll say on that one.
Yeah, true, very true, very true. Got a couple of more chats.
At least Gyokeres can put his jeans on that he runs in. These guys, they can't even. Do you know what I mean?
How you doing, Melvin? He says, can Zuba Metronome be an upgrade on Party? Yeah, he's turning out to be.
He already is. Yeah, he already is.
Steve, Zubi adds a lot more to our team. He will keep us ticking in tight spaces. Yeah, and so Miles should be learning from him. He wants to play that position in the future. Yeah. Interesting what's happened with him this season. Bit of a slow burn for him. Maybe some people are wary of where's he going to play. He came on, didn't he? And he kind of did that usual holding on to the ball too long and buying a free kick, which he tends to do. And trying to maybe need to try and iron that out a little bit. So yes, a fantastic day's work. We went top. We've got 9 points. Liverpool obviously I've got 12, obviously ahead because of that last minute penalty they got. Which it's amazing what they're doing at the moment. The last minute winners, but let's see if that lasts. All we can do is win the next game, isn't it? And obviously, we're in. The boys are in Bilbao now because of obviously we got them tomorrow in the Champions League. I think Nico Williams is injured, so at least we're not going to be facing him. Not that he did anything in the pre-season game anyway. I think his brother's probably better anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do and what the lineup will be. I was talking to you guys in the chat, and I'm thinking he probably will stick with. I think he will stick with Marino and play with Marino and Zubimendi, and then stick Rice in. So he moves Marino over to the right hand side and keep Rice in, because I just think it's the Spanish. They've played against Atletico Bilbao how many times? They know the atmosphere. They know what it's going to be like. It's not going to be that type of game where you need too much, power and pace and stuff. But I think at set pieces, I think Marino's going to be key there, because I just think they're pretty useless at defending those. So wouldn't be surprised if Marino sticks in, and I wouldn't be surprised if he scores as well tomorrow. That's the sort of kind of thing that he will do. But yes, just moving on to some other bits, guys. So obviously. Give me 2 seconds. We've got James, Arsenal Jesus. We've got Neil, Shah, the most dangerous Arsenal fan alive, the Arsenal Jason Bourne, and we've got Brian, the deal or no deal mastermind. And of course, you know what that means if Brian's on the show. It's time for this. And we bring it back.
And I thought I was being repeated on TV a number of times already, and now I've got to still. I'm on ITV quiz. I'm on ITV
2. You know how it goes. So you pick a number, and then whatever question comes out is the question. Okay. If it's a duff one, then we'll just get you to answer another one. So, starting with the age before beauty, we'll start with who should we start with? I can't start with me. So start with Neil. Neil, what number are you going to go for, mate?
You snitch! Yeah, man. He never said this was happening. Before we start, can I be a party pooper? can I just mention Mosquito, because he was sensational, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
And even that one mistake he made, he followed it up immediately with a worldie. What a player he is. I mean, you just don't even know that Saliba's not on the pitch. It's incredible. And then we've got Hitachi as well, who's supposed to be even something special as well, for 15 million. It's craziness. I love it. Look at him. What a beast.
Yeah.
Oh, what a squad we've got. City, you better watch out. 4 goals are coming your way, guys. 4 goals.
Right, Neil, don't try and get out of it, mate. So,
okay. 10.
Right,
It's got to be 10 always.
What is it? What number?
10. DB10, man.
Number 10. Let's see. Oh, you like this one? Should Martin Odegaard be forced to binge watch Cobra Kai to learn how to fall?
That's brilliant. I think my laugh says it all. Oh, that is brilliant, Mike. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Oh, get it together. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my God, I don't know. What am I supposed to say to that? Yes, I think. I can't answer that. Give me another one, man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Can I have another one? Can I have 4?
You want to do that one, yeah?
Oh my God, I'm sick.
Oh, dear.
You want to do that one? I'll let you do
That's
that one.
so funny. Oh,
We need to get that at the end. You know, instead of
That
North
is
London
so
forever for a
funny,
game,
Mike.
we
That
need
is
to put on the old
brilliant.
"You're the best around," don't we? We need that to come out one game. That'd be so good.
That's the best ever quiz question I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, dear.
All right. Do you want to do number 4, Neil? Yeah. Okay. It's a more serious question now. Are there any positions that still look vulnerable in the squad?
I think it's too early to say. I'm
Okay.
gonna go out on a limb. I think so far from what we've seen, I think we've been fairly strong. You know, you got Timber on the right back. He's incredible. The centre backs speak for themselves. Calafiore, I think he's been doing a tremendous job on the left back position. Then you got this midfield. Zubimendi looked incredible on the weekend. I've said on the Pewley Pop, he's the Federer of tennis. He's just such a beautiful player to watch. And then you've got these 2 amazing wingers. And I'm just going to quickly follow up what Brian said. At the moment, I think it's too early to judge on that one game, but the next 2 games are key for me. And if he sticks with both Madueke and Eze for both games, and they both do really well, and they continue to do so, I'm sorry people are going to kill me for this, but Saka doesn't get in the team for me. Not in that position.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Big decision, yeah. It
doesn't. And sorry if Saka, you're watching this, but you know I love you. But sorry, the club comes first. So
he's already struggling to get fit, and there's you kicking him while he's down.
You've got to keep these people on their toes, James. They earn enough money. You've got to keep them on their toes. You know? That's a really good question. I think it's too early to say in the season, but so far I'm pleased with what we've seen. And because I can't really think of any, to be honest. Personally, the guys might have something different to say if they want to have a quick go at it. But for me, too early to say. And so far, what we've seen has been good.
Okay, good stuff. Thanks, Neil.
I think
James,
on the back end of that, Mike, I think to be honest with you, I think it would only be obviously if we get the injury to Gyokeres at any stage, with Kai Havertz still being out. It means that we'll have Mourinho at top, and that. But look, that to be fair, that's probably most Premier League sides at this moment in time. If one of them centre forward goes down, other than probably Liverpool with Alexander Isak and then Hugo Ekitike. But generally speaking, that would probably be my only fear. But then we've still got Jesus to come back as well. We don't know what's going to be. He's going to be like, how eager he will be, how useful he will be for us in the latter part of of this season as well. So I would say that's the only area. and
Brian,
we'll
don't
see
worry.
how the
If
other injuries and that
if,
come
if
through.
Brian, if that happens, don't worry. The Calafiore will stick him up there.
Yeah, ridiculous player. Ridiculous player. Yeah, totally agree. So over to you, James.
Yeah, so in honour of it being my birthday in 3 days, I'll go for 18. I'll do because of the 18.
Okay, so interesting.
Pascal Segan. There we go.
Segan. Yeah, Segan crown a question.
Can Arsenal balance competing on multiple fronts without burning out?
Oh, what a question. That's a banger. Again, it all goes on to what the manager's going to do for me, because we've seen where he leaves people on too long, or he plays people that are carrying or have niggles or knocks. So it all depends on that. But like I said earlier, there's definitely signs in improvement in himself that he's learned. He's taking players off early when they need. Gyokeres and all them people were going, "Mal, why is he coming off?" Great decision. Great to see. I backed him on everything at the weekend that he did there. Get him off, save him for another day. And that's sort of what I hope happens tomorrow. Like you said about, we were talking in the group. I did all of a sudden see Ben White's not fit again. I know Stephen, like me, is going to be gutted about that one, because I was throwing him in tomorrow. I was going, get Ben White, save Timber for Man City. Don't play him. Have him there on the bench, but don't play him. And seeing that he's got injured again somehow, I'm like, for goodness sake. So you're going to have to probably play Timber or a Mosquera there and see what we could do. But yeah, no, at the moment, I've got no problems with it if he can handle this rotation and the subs and it. You get 5 now for a reason, so use all 5.
Yeah, 100%. No, good stuff. Over to you, Brian.
16.
Ooh. Okay, this is another big one as well. Okay, so number 16. Has Mikel Arteta developed enough tactical variety, to win the biggest games?
I think Sunday will be the ultimate test. Well, the starting of the test of that, I think. Because I think how we approached Liverpool, Manchester United this season, would you class that as a tactical variety? Probably yes. Would we be able to do that against Man City this weekend? I don't think we should, as in the way that we probably played against Liverpool, and because we're at home, particularly anyway. That's the start point. We, and the squad is better. I think it's quite weird. I'm actually kind of looking forward to Sunday's game for the first time against City, because I think it will be, just a better, just knowing that pound for pound and players that we've probably got better players than them, other than probably 1 or 2, I would say. So I think it tactically in this game, I think the City game, I think, look, we're at home, we can be progressive, we can be aggressive. I think it's going to be the European nights is where he's going to be at his most challenging, and he should have learned from last season anyway, with regarding to getting to the semi-final with a much weaker squad, and we probably only had 14 or 15 players going into the PSG game realistically. So they will be the games, I think, which we will see how tactically, the variety he can pitch up against the PSG again, or or Bayern and so on. But I think the weekend will that's his first test really of how he puts that out really.
Yeah, I think he tried to be a little bit. He tried it against Liverpool. Obviously, maybe should have made the substitution a little bit earlier, bringing on Eze and Odegaard. But yeah, I think he seems to have got. If you saw the press conference before for the Forest game, he seemed to be a bit stung a little bit. A few questions came in regarding that, and I think we kind of saw the result on on Saturday with the likes of Eze and Madueke, just being allowed a little bit more freedom and stuff, and being on the front foot, and especially being at home. So yeah, I think you're right. This is a next run of games. Obviously, Champions League, got to get off with a good start. You got to get off with a win. I know last year it was Atalanta, wasn't it? We were away and we got a draw there. Didn't Raya pull off that mad double save or whatever? So important to get off, with something, especially away from home. Yeah, and then obviously City and then Newcastle. So a big run of games coming up. Just dip into the comments before we go to the next question. Neil thinks he's getting away with it. Steve has said Mosquera reminds me of when I was that age. The goal that Gyokeres scored shows me you need another striker. Yeah, I would have liked another striker in the window. I would have liked another one. Whether that was somebody on loan. Nick, Nick's joined us. He just did a show with Brenny, and says thanks for that, mate. Like button and subscribe to fellow Google Top Fellow. Thanks very much for that. Brenny as well. Thanks, just finished. Big up yourselves. Thank you. Nick as well. The most impressive part of the Forest game was the way we performed with Odegaard, Kai, Saka, Saliba, Rice all missing. I agree with Cool James. I'll take that. Yeah, he's got to use the squad. We've kind of said that last season and the season before when the squad wasn't nowhere near as stacked as it is. So he's got no excuse not to dip in and rotate, and the level just won't drop anymore. The days of Eddie and Zinchenko have long gone, thankfully. Steve again, Sir Benjamin White to use his whole title. Going back and forth with Dominic Blanco and Nicky Gale. I just want to see Arsenal play with the handbrake off and be such to me rather than contain. And exactly that. Yeah, got show for depth. I wouldn't rush players back. It'll be interesting to see what he does tomorrow. But I think there's probably if White's out and he wants to maybe look after Timber a little bit, I think Mosquera right back maybe and Saliba in. He's got the options now, hasn't he? Over to you, Neil.
I thought we'd finished.
No, we haven't finished.
No wonder he was getting through the game so quickly. He had this up his sleeve. Now I know. I was wondering.
Neil, just wait to me. You do a two hander, and it's just you do the questions.
Oh no! Can I just quickly say one thing? I'm not delaying it. One really nice thing that I came across. I did say it in the purely, but I want to repeat it here just for the people who might not have watched that. After the game, walking back, James, a Forest fan approached me from nowhere. It was me and my friend walking back, and then this Forest fan approached, and he just said, he goes, listen, he must have overheard us talking. And he said, listen, you guys have got to really enjoy this moment. He goes, I've been going to Forest for so many years, obviously away and home. And he says, the last time I saw anything like this with you guys in terms of squad depth and the potential that you've got was in the Wenger golden era. He goes, seriously, you've got to enjoy it. I think he goes, if you consider, as it was mentioned there on the chat, I think by Nick, you had 4 or 5 players out. We thought all of us travelling down had a glimmer of hope. And because we thought, look at those players that they've got missing. And then 5 minutes of the game, we thought, no, he ain't got no chance. They're going to do us. So they saw it that early. And I actually said, well, I thought we started slowly. So can you imagine? And he says, the depth that you've got, there is no reason why you guys can't go on to win the title. He goes, he said the same thing. It really boils down to your manager using the players effectively. And that's it. And that's so nice for an opposing fan to come and say that.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yes, it's good to hear that. And yeah, we can see this. We can see the squad that we've got now. As Brenny said, Calafiori is adapted to the league. He's not picked up any sort of injury. Touch wood. So long may that continue. So yeah, go ahead, Neil.
And by the way, I love you, Saka, so number 7.
Okay, let's see.
But you ain't playing.
Had to bring it back.
The question is, whilst they're injured, should Saka watch Cobra Kai with Martin Odegaard? I'm joking.
I reckon Saka probably has.
How important is it for us to win a major trophy this season, Neil?
Oh yes, of course it well is. I won't be happy with 3. I obviously want 4, but no.
Yeah.
Oh, it's imperatively important. Well, that's the wrong word. It's vitally important that they win a trophy. I'll say it one more time. I've said it so many times. People are sick of me saying it. I'm not a trophy hunter, but we need to win a major trophy because otherwise, some of our major players or our key players will think about leaving. We have to hold on. Look, if we've just for the first time in all these years been able to get a squad where Martinelli and Trossard are coming on with a few minutes left. That's how big we are now. Martinelli and Trossard. Most other teams would die to have them starting in their teams. We've got the luxury of bringing them on with like a few minutes left. And if we've finally managed to get to this stage where every season, I remember, God knows how many, 25, 30 years, I'd always say, we're 2 or 3 players short. We're 2 or 3 players short. I will say this season, I know it might have been nice to get another striker in, but I'm satisfied with this window. I was satisfied even before Eze and Itachi came in. I'm really happy with this window. And I think for the first time, we are ready to have a full frontal assault. So my prediction is the quad, but I think we will win. We've got to win either one of the Prem or the Champions League, 100%.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, James.
I'm going to do it because nobody else has, and it's quite an easy. I'm going to go number 1 just to,
Ooh.
not saying I am, but it's there.
Right.
So
Straightforward one, easy one for you. A bit touching on Neil's one. Have Arsenal strengthened enough in the transfer market to mount a serious title challenge?
Oh yeah, easy, 100%. Again, I've never thought it was players themselves. I was like, you can buy as many players, and you always knew that we'd get the depth and we'd get the players. It's the mentality, and it's not even the mentality of the players. It's him and himself. He did that great video with Steve Kerr in the week. I don't know if you guys have actually caught up and watched it yet.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it, but I need to sit down and watch it.
It's so eye-opening listening to. He basically confirms every preconception that I've had about him since about 2 or 3 years now. And it's just he basically admits, like, yeah, most of the stuff's in my own head. And I'm like, well, if you know that, then why'd you keep doing it? Because he talks about once he's got a set pattern, and he said the worst thing about me is my stubbornness.
He
And
actually admits it.
And I'm like, and it's just like, mate, I'm like, you're looking the gift horse in the mouth. You're literally looking the gift horse in the mouth. And he talks about how he would always see the small window, but not the big door. Like he was, like, how he comes out with things, a good idea is a good idea forever types, David Brent type stuff. And he was like, but he's like, this year, he said, this year I need to open a big door. And I'm like, yeah, you do. There's 2 big doors, and you need to open one of them.
Yeah.
And I think we're well equipped for both. I know how tricky, especially towards the latter stages, how tricky that Champions League can be. Yeah. So, and you need those beefy squads. PSG had a beefy squad. Inter Milan, okay, they got absolutely slapped in the final, but I backed them from the start to win the whole thing because I knew that they've got a beefy squad. And Inzaghi, bless him, he uses every single player. He used every single player in that Inter Milan side that he could. He had people that were like 38, could barely breathe, but he still brought them on, and they scored. What was it, Acerbi or whatever his name is, in that semi against Barca?
Yeah.
And he's like had cancer or something a few years ago, and all of a sudden he's out there playing and scoring goals. So he utilizes every single person that he's got available to him, and that's what we need to be doing. And the trophies will come. I know it seems impossible at the moment, but just the football gods cannot help Liverpool sustain this all the way. There's got to be, something's got to give. Something has got to eventually give. They can't keep doing this forever. They just can't.
Mental. Absolutely mental. Nice one, James. Thanks for that. Brian?
I'll go number 8.
Number 8. Oh, okay. Should the Champions League be a bigger priority than the domestic cups? Straightforward as well.
Yeah. And it's something we've actually spoken about already, and I think we spoke about on one of the pods before, Mike, and said, for me, my priority would be the Champions League, and that's just as a fan.
It's because you're not seeing it.
2006 still burns with me.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it still burns with me now. It still burns at the fact that even Tottenham got to a Champions League final. as well
Yeah.
in recent times. So from yes, we haven't won a league title for 20 odd years. Yeah, great. I totally understand that, but we also did an invincible season, so I can live with that as well. But a Champions League is for me. It is the bigger priority. I think we can. I think I think for the journos, all of the ones that basically have kicked us around for a number of years. If we went on that, it will be kind of, be a bit of justice. I think certainly be a bit of justice. But yeah, for me, the Champions League would be the priority, and yeah.
People got some people say the league. Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, I completely agree with Brian there. I just want to say one thing though, in terms of the FA Cup, we've been diabolical since we won it with Arteta. We need to have a good run in the FA Cup. I'm not saying, of course, I'd love to win it, because for me, I just love the FA Cup. I adore it. So we have to win it. Well, we'd love to win it, but we have to have at least a good run in it, I think, because then that will give we can extend the squad even further with some of the players that don't get maybe as many games, that they can come on. We can flex their muscles a little bit on the pitch too, and I think that will do us good as well in the overall picture. So I think I'd like to see a good run in the FA Cup, but yeah, Champions League's got to take priority. He's got to win one of the big two for me.
Yeah, 100%. So just going to give you one question each, but I'm going to pick them for you this time. Because I know what's actually got on the other end of the box, or what's inside the box, I should say. Let me.
Why don't you answer a question?
No, I've answered enough questions, mate. You
got to answer one. Exactly, you've answered one.
You sound like my missus. Right, so Neil, let me give you the hardest. I was going to give you a nice, easy one, Neil, but I'm going to give you a hard one now.
No.
Let's see. Where was it? Where's that question go?
You've been looking for it.
Here we go. I think you like this one. Should anyone who signed the Madueke petition be banned from watching football forever?
They should be no. Can I slightly change that? They should be forced to watch Tottenham on loop for the rest of their lives. They should just be forced to watch Tottenham.
Last season's Tottenham.
Over and over again. Matchsticks open, pump them full of adrenaline so they don't fall asleep, and torture them and sit them all of them in their toilet stadium. Just sit there and you watch that for the rest of your lives. Because
it needs to be like that bit in what was the Hannibal film where Philip Seymour Hoffman's tied to the chair and is it Ray Fiennes with a tattoo? And he's like, "Do you see? Do you see?" He's like torturing him, making him watch the telly. Yeah,
that's what they should be made to do. That's it.
Oh, nice one. This one's for James. This is about. Give me a second. Should we be worried about the possibility of the Valencia president parking their team bus across the runway, refusing to move it until we cough up more money for Christian Mosquera?
There's probably going to be one or two extras added in there, but yeah, no, he can park as many buses as he wants. I mean, I will say, I did after watching that game Saturday, I thought to myself, oh my God, Arsenal have committed one of the heists of the century here. We're like the old, great train robbers or whatever. I was like, this is fantastic. But then I watched the West Ham Spurs game and I saw that goalkeeper and I went, Leicester must be, they must be dancing in that room. You know the bit in Scarface where Push It to the Limit's playing and they're all just counting the notes and it's going like. Da, 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 da. I thought I was like over in Leicester or Thailand, wherever the owner. I think they are from Thailand. I'm like they're somewhere in Thailand or whatever, just counting all that. God knows how they got 20+ mil for that goalkeeper.
Yeah,
he can't catch a cold, let alone a football. He's dreadful. He's absolutely awful. No wonder they signed a 40-year-old Fabianski again because he is shocking. But no. No. We're good. We're you know what Berta's like. He pays on time and he gets it done. So yeah. I want to see who else he's got. Because if that's the standards, if we get these big Gyokereses and these Ezes every summer, but he sprinkles in one or two Mosqueras on top, we're gonna have the best windows ever. I mean, I get excited for transfer window regardless. The last couple of years, I've preferred the transfer window to the season. But yeah, I'm like, give me more of them every day of the week. Fantastic.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's been a great window because he's future proofed it as well. He's not only just dealt with the now. Yeah. Obviously, Mosquera, that's someone's going to be around for a long time. And even Madueke, who's how young he is as well. So it's been a brilliant window. Yeah, you could talk about the lack of money that we've got from sales, but it's been an excellent window, and Bert has done an amazing job in terms of what the level we are in terms of the squad. Like the squad depth, it's unreal. I'm just going to get you last one, Brian, and we go to the comments. There's quite a few built. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Oh God, I can't find it. Okay, you didn't answer this one, Neil. So I'm bringing this up again. You didn't answer it. So is that a yes or a no? Should he do that or not?
What? Seriously, you want me to answer that? Why'd you bring this back up again? Find Brian's question.
Oh God.
Yes, he should. 20 times. Watch it 20 times over. It shouldn't take long.
Cool. Right, here I found it. So Brian, which player is most crucial to Arsenal's hopes if they stay injury free? For me, if I was to answer it, it's like
that's a very good question.
It's a tough question, isn't it? Tough one to answer.
I've got mine straight away.
I would probably say Zubimendi now. Because his goals will be a lot to do with what we can also provide.
Yeah.
I know that there are going to be times where he'll try and take the game by a scruff of the neck, but it will be a lot to do with what we can provide for him, just as much. But I think Zubimendi kind of just keeps us ticking. I think that it gives that protection which people don't. Well, most of us do notice, but not a lot of people do. I think if we keep him fit for the majority of the season, I think we will go very far in most of the competitions that we're in.
Yeah, I agree. What about you? I'll go to you both. James, what's your choice?
Yeah. It's Gabriel without easily Gabriel. Yeah. He's gone up a level now for me, where I went from thinking we had, I already think we got the best two centre backs in the league, but I always thought Saliba was Gabriel last season, even now he is the best in the league for me, and he's becoming even more important with Odegaard obviously being out, and we don't know how long that's going to be for. Gabriel's the captain now, and I think the minute he has that armband on for a sustained period of time, you're going to see him go up an even higher level. He's going to relish having that armband on like you wouldn't believe. Yeah. So, I think if something happened to Gabriel, I would, I think we'd be screwed, because I know we've got a plethora of left-footed centre backs that can go in there, but they're not that guy. I know as much as Odegaard, we've all spoke about it. I know as much as Odegaard wears it, but we've always said Gabriel and Rice are the actual leaders. Yeah. He's just the one that's got the armband on. Well, I think he's going to take that responsibility, that baton off the captaincy, and he's going to run with it. And hopefully he'll be like an old number 6 that used to be captain for us, that we used to see lift trophies at the end of the season as well.
Yeah, be lovely. Be nice to see. And Neil, who's your choice?
It's funny how it probably would have been, if I'm not wrong, all three of you, time and time again over the last few years, we would have said Saka, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Time and time again, we would have just said Saka. Saka would probably be one of the first players to come off our roll off our mouths. But I can go with the past player. Can I go with Glenn Helder, please?
Absolute lunatic. What are you like? Oh dear.
You could have gone Nelson Vivas. Come on.
Don't say that name. Don't say that name. Oh my God.
I liked
I
it.
still
It was
I will still wake up in a cold sweat with that Hasselbank goal, Ellen Road, when he just didn't even
Oh,
know.
don't Melvin's in the chat. He was there. He's
My
been living.
God.
Yeah, he saw it live. He
Absolute
kind of
clown.
buy. It's him versus
Absolute
Van
clown.
Bronckhorst tomorrow night, isn't it?
Huh?
I think Atletico versus Liverpool. He's Atletico Madrid's assistant. Van Bronckhorst is it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna,
Yeah.
you know, if it kicks off, I'm backing the Atletico bench over the Liverpool one. By the way, Slot likes to have Slot likes to yell at women, so he's, you know, he's a nobody to me. So
just go through some of the chats, and Nick's added on to that nice words from the Forest fans about enjoying it. I saw something on Twitter as well. Someone said something similar as well. Just enjoying it. You know, there's 5 months left. There's 4 games in, and there's loads of months to go. Don't get too stressed out about things. Steve said you can't beat us anymore. Don't react to such tactics and seem more calm and mature. Yeah, that's true. Apart from Calafiori picking up city bookings, no one's. I think this is the first time in God knows how long we've gone 4 games into the league season without a red card, which is insane. Saka's still the guy, but we don't have to rush him back. You know, that's the key thing. Brenny, would be happy with the Champions League. Would be over the moon with the Premier League. Yeah. Either or, I'm happy with both. Obviously, we'd love to see the Champions League because that's something we've never had before. Nick, I expect us to compete. Trophies hard to get, lots of competition, but winning is needed for the squad to continue together. Yes, because we need to land something, because people will, are kind of thinking in the summer, looking ahead and not wishing the life away, but you're kind of thinking what could happen if we don't land anything, especially with a certain French defender and Madrid. Streets no Zubimendi, right? This is a family show. These two, I don't know what about. Winnie Silver needs to become again. They all count when we look back, and rewards the squad for their efforts. Yep. Thanks for that. That's down to Brian. The format, that's because of his amazing efforts on the when he appeared on the show. Deal or no deal. Champions League can be a priority, but domestic cups are a bonus. Everybody loves a day out at Wembley. Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah. It's a fact that we haven't even got to a final or had a day, a day at Wembley for a long time, and that's the thing. You've seen teams much worse than us lift trophies, and it's just just because City aren't are there doesn't mean that we can't win anything. When trophies give something to build on, and we should aim to win them all. People talk about a squad. Remember Chelsea spent and brought all the players, and even Forest 55-54. Yeah, they have pretty much. Yeah, and agreeing with you, James, Brenny, with Gabriel. Yeah, it's been he's key, isn't he? He's key. Yeah. Talking about the long drive mode. Yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible, and it was Hasselbank as well. I can't stand that geezer as well, because especially when he played for Chelsea, he absolutely hated us, and I hated him. So can't stand him, and the fact that he just didn't even see that he was there. He just left him. This guy's he's a what the kids call today. He's a gunman, isn't it? He just blasted the ball in left, right, centre, and didn't see that he was there. It's just ridiculous. Thanks for that. Who brought up Vivas? Was it you, James?
No.
Oh, you. What are you doing, man?
Yeah. I've got enough Arsenal PTSD that I don't want to bring. I don't want the Nelson Vivases. Your Stefanozes. I don't want to talk about any of them.
Yes, so we finish with Mr. Jigan. Yes, please let's have no more injuries. Yes, that's it. Let's hope we can get a bit of fortune with that. Even though we've got a few injuries at the moment, is crazy. But well, what a show! Thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate it. And always appreciate your time. I know we've gone over a bit tonight, but I just thought it was important to get you guys on and to just talk about a really good performance. And despite the Anfield defeat, it's been a good start to the season. I think the new players have definitely brought a new dimension to the team, and it's got everyone kind of talking and a bit scared, which is nice to see. People often do these little these creators, Arsenal are scary and all that stuff and everything, and we are, and let's hope it can carry on. Yeah, thanks very much for the good words. Yeah, thanks for that. Hopefully, Steve. Just fingers crossed. We continue. Thanks very much for your time. Thanks for all the support. Really appreciate it. James, can you tell everyone where they can catch you?
Yeah, if they just hit what's in the little picture there at LL Cool James 91, and then all the links are on my Twitter page. But yeah, just James Johnstone Football on YouTube. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure when we have you and Neil on and Melvin that's in the chat. I need to get you, Brian, and Stephen on. I haven't done that yet, so we'll sort that out one point this season. But yeah, and that's just anyone that's in the chat. If they want to follow me on there, if they don't already, and they want to come on, by all means, send me a message. And you will be vetted first, but yeah, you're more than welcome to come. You're more than welcome to come on.
If I can get through that, anyone can. Trust me.
To be fair, it's mainly people that will say yes. So that is the vetting process. Will you like to come on? Yes, I will. You're in. It's not hard. It's not a hard thing to pass. So.
Neil, thanks, James. Neil, where can they find you? Well, they can't find you because you're the Arsenal.
I'll be in a dark alley somewhere if anyone wants to come and join me there.
Yeah, you won't be able to find him. He's going to snap his SIM on his mobile in a minute as soon as he's logged off, and you won't be able to find him until.
Before you finish, we are winning both the next two games, aren't we, guys? All of you.
Yeah, I think so. Good. I think the City game's going to be a good one because I think they're going to want to try and play, come out at us. I think like someone mentioned in the chat. That they're going to want to try and put one on us, and I think they're going to play into our hands a little bit.
We owe that keeper one. I ain't having him doing like 14 saves with his go gadget arms and all that.
When he done that save from Bueno yesterday, I was thinking, that just gave me a cold, shiver like that. The second one.
He is class. I know he can't play with his feet, but he is arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Yeah. So, but we owe him. So. Hopefully, Gyokeres is one that he rifles off the bar. He can hit him in the head with it or something. Take it off. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, he scored a hat trick against the last time he played against them, so we'll have that again. That'd be nice. But thanks for that, Neil. Thanks, James, Brian. Obviously, people can catch you on the repeats of Deal or No Deal.
ITV quiz at this moment.
Yeah.
Well, look at him.
Banking the banker. Yeah. No, thanks for coming on, man. It's really appreciate it, and really appreciate all the time that you guys give me. Really, I know it's time is everything these days. So thanks very much. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the chat messages. Really appreciate it, and really fun stuff. Glad everybody enjoyed it. We'll be back probably Monday night. Hopefully talking about two wins, as Neil said, again, tomorrow night, and against City as well. Hopefully silencing or making that robot malfunction again, like we did last time. And hopefully just kick on to. Have we got a game after City? Have we got the?
Yeah, Port Vale,
isn't it? Yeah, Port Vale and then Newcastle. So, another packed week, 3 games a week again. So, we'll be back on Monday to review the past 2 games. So, thanks to everyone in the chat. Really appreciate it. Obviously, if you like it, please share with your friends, you like-minded Gooners. And, we'll be back on Monday. All that's left to say is come on, you Gooners. Try and catch Neil if you can. And we'll see you next week.